You are now tuned in to the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, where we will be discussing actual audio and visual clips captured during the team's investigations. Hear firsthand eyewitness accounts from fellow team members and special guests. Now smash that like, subscribe, and follow button, and let's get ready to welcome team leader and your host, Eric Vanderlaan, and tech specialist and co-host, Mike Del Coro. Good evening, folks, and happy Monday. My name is Mike Del Coro. I am a co-host of the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, and tonight we got our good friend and teammate, Joe Torino, filling in for Eric. Eric's got some personal things he's got to take care of tonight. So we got an amazing show for you. Isn't that right, Joe?
That's right. Well, we have from what I could tell backstage, it was already pretty funny. We've been laughing for the past like 20 minutes. So
yeah,
I'm excited for everyone that's listening to be able to partake in the fun.
Heck yeah. So we got the folks from Para with a Normal on Beacon TV, and Mike and MaryLynn, and we're gonna go ahead and play a little trailer that Eric put together and get you guys familiar, and then we'll bring them in.
What comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with MaryLynn, a psychic / paranormal investigator, and together we're gonna check out some really awesome haunted locations, and maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
Awesome. I love the concept, and these guys are great. So we're gonna not waste any more time, and we're gonna bring them in and get started. So I'm gonna bring in Mike and MaryLynn. What is up?
Woo! What's up, guys?
Welcome to the show. Yeah, great to have you guys here, and yeah, let's get it kicked off. So tell us a little bit for some of the people out there that aren't familiar with you guys and the show and what you guys do. Kind of give us a little rundown about how you guys came up with the concept, and I love it. It's great. It's seems super entertaining, and I love what you guys got going on. So tell us a little bit about it, and our guests and listeners. Either one.
First, are you wearing? Is that a hat, or is that like a do-rag?
It's a do-rag. I'm from the streets.
You're from the mean streets. Oh, okay. I want to do that now too, because that was cool. I want to be like you when I grow up. There we go.
I just covering the gray hairs, man. Covering the gray hairs.
All right, I got way too many of those. Joe knows what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Look at this.
So you asked me a question, but I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, so kind of give us a little cliff notes, if so, for our listeners, and how you guys came up with the concept, and a little bit about the show.
Okay, so the concept was a weird series of events, like Lemony Snicket's, right? So,
do you have any crickets?
Yes. I am a comedian, and I had the show called Two Clueless Dudes. It was like a podcast. And prior to that, I was on a show called a rock and comedy show. I did that for quite some time. And I also had a show called Mad Mike's High Power Hour, the only 2-hour show that's 15 minutes long. So after all that, I decided that I wanted, me, right? But I wanted to do something. I really wanted to do something different. I wanted to blend my comedy with something that was just unique, right? Because I think that's kind of the goal. Is you don't want to do what everybody else is doing. You want to pioneer. And I felt like I was just soul searching. I didn't know what it was that I wanted to do. And I had met MaryLynn actually about 10 years ago, maybe even more now. Might have been 10.
12.
Yeah, might have been like 12. And she's a psychic and a medium. And she had told my wife that she felt like somebody in her family was, close to death. And that the number 3 was involved, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 years, not sure. It just so happens that my mother-in-law was very sick and died that night, actually, at 3 a.m.
Oh.
So that like blew my mind because I had to make sure, I had to look and figure out what she was driving to see if that vehicle had been in my neighborhood, Wasn't sure how she knew. Maybe that was what it was. She was stalking me, but no, she just like used her special ESPN powers. And it was awesome. And so we kind of forged like this crazy friendship over that. And she had her own show at the time. And between, me coming on her show, talking about the death of my mother-in-law and trying to feed her cheeseburgers to get her out of my house. We just had this.
Not me, the mother-in-law.
Yes, the mother-in-law. So you fast forward to me having this, this moment of self-reflection. I just at weird random I wind up, hey Vince, Buddy V. I wind up connecting with MaryLynn while she's on a podcast, and I'm chatting with her after the podcast. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to, I'm searching, I'm floundering, I don't know what I'm doing. I got this damn pizza and I don't know what to do with it. And she said, well, have you ever been to like a paranormal investigation? And I haven't. She said, well, I'm going to Deadwood. I'm doing this convention in Deadwood. You should come down. It's in South Dakota. I said, that's my favorite of all the Dakotas. How can I refuse? So I did. I was like, you know what? Screw it. I got in my car. I drove down. I dressed up as a Ghostbuster. I wore a mustache so nobody knew it was me because I'm very famous. And it was the most incredible experience because I found out my mind does not work like a normal person's mind works. And MaryLynn,
you don't say.
But it was so welcoming. Everybody was so welcoming and so pleasant, and I felt so accepted. And getting involved with the paranormal, it just felt so right. Especially, with my specific form of comedy. I guess people hear comedy and they hear paranormal and they immediately think that it's going to be, where you're making fun of like the ghosts or the area you're going to antagonize. And that's not it. It's really about self introspection, right? Mm-hmm. It's about me, and it's about my journey, and it's about her and her journey. And after that, we decided to launch our own podcast because I was like, let's do this. And I said, do you still want to do a podcast? She's like, hell yeah. So we launched, it was called Sidekicks Paranormal at the time. And not even a month later, I go to Virginia City. This is like late October. And I meet Shane and Josh Purvis for the second time. I met them in Deadwood, had no idea who they were because I don't even watch paranormal shows. The only one I know is Zach Bagans. I interviewed him back in 2010. And, he told us about how he took the ring to Mordor and all that stuff. And but, I don't know anything else. So I watched some of his shows. I watched the Holzer Files, which I'm not gonna lie, I thought it was the Hosier Files, and I kind of got excited because I thought Hosier was gonna be in it. He was not. That was a little disappointing. But it was a great show. And then I watched him on 28 Days Haunted, which is probably the first time he's ever been in a bath. So at least I know he was clean at some point. I just have this epiphany while Shane is actually giving a presentation. And after his presentation, I pull him aside and say, I bet you get pitches all the time. I said, but I really do have this really cool idea. And I pitched the idea of, Paired with the Normal, which is it's about, a regular guy and an actual trained, psychic paranormal investigator. And, it's basically just this one idiot's journey on, what comes next. And I know I need to shut up. I really want to answer the question. An obvious choice for that psychic was MaryLynn.
No, that's really cool. It's awesome, man. I love it. And now MaryLynn. So you may continue a little bit on it. Well, how about this? Tell us a little bit about how you kind of got into the game, and and when you kind of realized that you had this ability to.
Yeah, how long have you been watching ESPN? Like Mike was saying earlier.
Well, I connected with ESPN.
The Ocho.
When I was about 4 years old. I was actually sitting out on the front porch and I was talking to the lady and I was petting the cat. And my mom comes out and asks me, who am I talking to and what am I doing? So I told her, I was like, I'm talking to the lady. And I described what she looked like and everything. And she's like, there's nobody there. I was like, but there is. And there's a cat here. And so what had happened, we had just moved into the house and the lady that had moved across the street used to live here. Her mother owned the house across the street and she had just passed. So it ended up being her mother who I was describing because my mom went over talking to her and it was her mom that used to come over and visit with the granddaughter that lived there.
Oh, wow.
So that's how we found out that I had abilities.
You got to be careful. Even ghosts can diddle kids, You
got to be careful. Right out there on them streets.
MaryLynn, so you were talking to the woman and petting the cat and all that. So like from there, where did you take it? Did you realize that you were special, that you had this gift going on, or did you like do what a lot of us do that have this? And
Joe also is a psychic medium, by the way.
I'm not. I do not claim to be a psychic medium.
He will not claim it, but he is, and he's really good at what he does, even though he won't admit to it.
I just feel I haven't earned it to be able to call myself that yet, because I know that there's so much more to explore with it. I love hearing the story. No, I get that, but I love hearing like from people like MaryLynn, because then it's I find little bits and pieces that I'm like, oh man, okay, like I totally can get that. So
even with me doing this for years, it's always learning, and you're never the expert and never know everything. So because I learned from, hey, this may be something different over here, the way you do things, and it's like, hey, let's integrate it and see what else we can do. Right. But with me, what I kind of kept it suppressed because of growing up in Texas is kind of taboo. Right. And against the religions to be able to do this. So it was kept quiet until I became an adult. And then just my small circle of friends knew what I could do. And then I moved to Las Vegas and that's when it blew up for me. And it was to the point where I met my circle of people and I could be who I wanted to be. And I started doing readings and started writing my books. And then I started, so for my books, I wanted to do research. So I joined a paranormal group. Wasn't quite what I was expecting, but I learned more of what, went on with that and went on to start my own group. And then that's when I started the radio show. And that's when I met Mike.
Awesome.
But speaking of that, Mike, do you ever just grab Joe's head and shake it and then he says, try again later?
I have not. No. Right. But you're giving me ideas.
Well, they call me the human REM pod for when we go out, so it might as well be the human 8-ball. That's a different day. That's a long time ago.
Joe, I do see an aura around you, so you have abilities that you hold on to. You don't trust yourself enough. You have the ability; it's there.
Yes,
an aura. See, I was going to call it just sexiness.
Yeah,
you just got the vibe.
That too.
I call it my Ness, my Jonas, my it's pretty strong, pretty strong.
Ness. The force is strong with this one.
Yes.
Yeah, no.
So on our podcast, we always do a thing called Spirits for the Spirits. So I have a little bit of, I don't want to get you guys in trouble, but it is. I like to call it my brain fancy juice.
So we use outhouses.
I love it.
There you go. Perfect.
Oh yeah.
And I've got
out.
My trusty fireball.
That way we can get poop faced.
Poop faced.
Yes. Oh, and Ron had mentioned MaryLynn picked up on my crazy mother-in-law. She's really good with mother-in-laws. It's wild. So spirits for the spirits.
Spirits for the spirits.
Cheers.
Got a soda.
I should go grab a beer real quick.
Snozberries taste like schnozberries.
Spirits
oh my goodness!
Start licking the screen.
Go grab you a beer.
Might as well, right?
Do it
after the break.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a commercial break coming up here in a little bit.
There you go.
So
Hi Chanel. She's back.
So we have a lot of people in chat.
Yeah, we got a crank in there.
I don't know if anybody in the chat has seen Chanel. She has a very nice hat, very sexy hat.
Yeah, our producer backstage.
Are you gonna say who Chanel is, or just say that she's sexy?
If you know, you know. You have to be in the know to know Chanel. Okay.
That's right. So, did you? And so, do you guys investigated before the show?
No.
Have you guys been out and done any investigations prior to the filming? So you, Mike, you were brand new into this. You were fresh into this, and you get to witness this on the show. So you can tune in and see this, your live reactions from first going out there and getting this under your belt.
And that's the beauty of Pair with the Normal is one, it's not scripted. It is purely genuine. My reactions, I mean, that's just, and anybody that's in the chat that may know me, that they can testify. And same thing with MaryLynn. I am what you see on TV. I am the same person in real life. That was really important for me to convey that. I guess you don't have to. My whole thing was not everything has to be scary, right?
Right.
And that was a big thing for me because you watch any of these shows and most of them got canceled because they're all the same. Let's be real, and a lot of it is, there's got to be demons. It's got to be very scary. And the reality is it's not really, it doesn't have to be that way, and that was kind of what I was out to prove was, or not even prove, but just say to myself, does it have to be scary? Do I have to be afraid? Do I have to be serious? Because that's not me. Can I be me and still enjoy the paranormal? Can I be me and still learn about the afterlife? Because that's important because I want all the listeners, I want you to be able to be you and still have a good time. I don't want you to think that you have to be pigeonholed into being Zach Bagans all the time, right?
Right.
I say it all the time. MaryLynn will tell you, you're more likely to find semen than a demon. Okay, that's just how it is. All right.
13.
Okay.
So,
Chanel,
oh my God, I'm going to use that from now on. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate that. That is fantastic.
But it is the truth.
Because we are an active investigating paranormal team in Florida. We host public events, And one of the main things that we do is to help people, residentials that are having problems with the paranormal. And then the other thing is to bring awareness, bring people out there and show them that it's not always scary. And it's not, what I mean? These were people, and we're going to try to communicate with them. And, it's not, and as long as we've been doing this, I think it's very, very rare do we find something that's very dark. And I don't even like using the word demon, you know what I mean? And not everything's a demon. We preach that all the time. I'm picking up exactly what you're putting down, and I like it. You know what I mean? And I think it's a fun concept too. To bring somebody that hasn't been, in the paranormal, that has an awesome sense of humor and it's funny, and bring them into the world of the paranormal. And I think it's awesome. I love it. I love the concept.
Well, it breaks that monotony.
It works great, mostly because of MaryLynn. Well, say that again.
That it breaks that monotony too, like exactly what you were saying. Everything does not have to be dark and doom and gloom. It's like shit, like sometimes stuff is funny. We go on an investigation all the time, and we are laughing most of the time because we're having a good time with each other.
Laughing, having the good time actually makes it
brings
more
it
active.
up. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too. Yeah,
for a reason, right?
We tell people that too sometimes during residential cases. Hey, like, listen, you need a little bit more laughing in your life. You need some more positive energy. Positive energy. And plus, what MaryLynn's, to investigate with somebody like this, opposed to somebody that has these abilities and that it has a background investigating the paranormal, that is a psychic medium that has, this skill set is just it's fantastic. And have you guys so tell us a little bit more about how many seasons or like how many episodes do you guys have out now, and what are you guys planning in the future?
Right now we have 4 episodes out, and the next 4, so it'll be a season of 8 episodes. The next 4 come out beginning of February. So then we'll have a nice little release. And the first 4 they're great, right? You can really see the development from us getting started and growing. But the next 4 are just so good. I'm so excited to be able to share them with everyone, because we just get to go to some really awesome places, and we have so much fun. And then here's the other thing too, is it's not even just so much about, me and my journey, but it really gives you a chance to see, MaryLynn work, because I think everybody's used to seeing the psychic have to deal with, in the dark environment and terrible tragedies all the time. Well, this gives you a chance to see how a psychic can operate, how a medium can operate, even with somebody who's not, not on that same spectrum. Right. And
he is on the spectrum, but
a spectrum, right? But not the spectrum.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Well, and that's the whole thing. The show, like you said, it's unscripted, and when we go in, he will find the locations, and I don't know where we're going until he tells me we're going here. I don't do history or anything. And then I just follow his lead. Just whatever he does, I just have to follow and figure out where he's going to go next, what he's going to do. I never know what he's wearing. He loves doing different costumes for different areas, different locations, and it's hilarious. Love working with him and doing this, and it's something that for the show I have to remind myself, don't laugh. He's like a little brother for me. It's like, my son, I tell everybody, he's like, my son would always do everything he could, even when he was in trouble, to try to make me laugh. Mike does the same thing. So I treat him pretty much the same way. It's like, Mike.
And when you watch the show, you realize that it is a mixture of both a paranormal investigative show and The Office. So we take these little breaks where we'll actually talk to the camera. I
like it.
And a lot of times, like interview style. And a lot of times, so the outtakes, those interview moments, I would say the majority of those are ruined because of our directors, Shane and Josh.
Because of Mike.
Yeah.
Well, because of me, but
it's because of Mike.
because they laugh, right? So you have to redo it. But here's the thing: I never do the same take twice.
Yep.
And so, and I'm just gonna throw it out there too, right quick, while we're talking about it. Yeah. Guys, check out Beacon TV. For everybody that's listening, Shane Pittman and Josh Purvis. They have an awesome thing going on out there. Eric and I have a show on Paraflix called The Haunted Files, and we're good buddies with Shane and Josh, and we all hang out together. We actually go into the booze on the battleship. Are you guys going to be there coming?
We are there.
Awesome.
I'm so excited to be there for booze on the battleship. It's going to be great. She's doing the midnight seance.
Yep. Awesome. So
it's a midnight readings, not the seance.
Oh, midnight, whatever. Midnight
gallery
readings.
Well, there's a difference. Gallery readings.
Midnight gallery readings.
Don't get on him too hard. He's new.
Midnight gallery readings.
All right. Well, I have to keep him in line. If I don't,
it's true. I'll go. I'll just take off on my own.
Yeah, this is why we work so well together. When we met on the radio show, so it was to the point of we had only done the radio, and when we started filming, I've never been in front of a camera. He's never been in front of a camera. So it was brand new for both of us. And you could see that in the first episode. But as it continues, you can see how we mesh. And it flows. And we work really well together. It's so bad that we've gotten on the same schedule as far as bathroom schedule. And even wearing almost the same shirts all the time, the colors.
It's true. We could have changed our name to Poo Party Paranormal.
Yep. It's traveling together, and it's like just it happens.
So that means by season 2, you're going to be the one wearing all the costumes, then, right?
Right.
You never know. We may flip the script.
And the Haunted Files on Paraflix.
Yes.
Hands down, primo show.
Thank you. I totally appreciate
fantastic.
It.
And I don't know if Natalie's in here. Sometimes I think Natalie comes in.
She was in here earlier. I saw her pop in.
Yeah, she already knows. I absolutely love her. She's just such a beautiful soul, such a beautiful woman.
She is. She's
and great business mind. So, and even though we are on Beacon, I try to convey to all listeners, you don't have to choose one or the other. I really, really hope you choose both.
That's right. And, and then we say that, Josh and I, we'll go investigate, we'll do events together and stuff all the time. And there's, it's two different networks, right? It's two different things. It's a totally different things going on. And they're both fun. They're both different. And, it's, we get along, we all get along super great. And that's the way it should be. It's awesome.
Absolutely. And, I got the honor and privilege of traveling with Mike, Shane, and Josh Purvis.
That's another one too. Mike Angus is another amazing character.
Yep. Yeah, Mike's great.
The Parastash himself.
And Josh is in the comment section. Hi, Josh.
Hey,
Josh!
There
he is. Hey.
So
hello, Josh.
I got the privilege.
You just missed it. We were talking all
them.
Kinds of good things about you, buddy.
Yes. When they did a few episodes of The Searchers. For as Searchers Afterlife. So I'm actually a cameraman in some of those. And so I got to, we all slept in an RV. And I can testify, I can tell everyone right now, anybody who's actually seen Josh Purvis, like his face, and he's got like all the hair and stuff, his butthole is exactly the same.
The same.
Just hair everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. It was like looking down a hairy straw. It was crazy.
From the front, it looked like Fidel Castro smoking a cigar.
It did. It was wild. Like, yeah, it looked like Colonel Sanders eating a sausage. It was wild. So,
on that note, we got to pay the bills. We got a couple of ads to run, and we'll be right back with you guys shortly.
Have a drink.
What is up, my paranormal peeps? You may be wondering why we're holding something like these in our hand, and my buddy's going to tell you all about it.
The reason that we have this paranormal equipment in our hand is because we're giving a big shout out to the Ghost Hunter store, one of our sponsors. They're your one-stop shop for everything paranormal.
That's right, and you may have seen some of these equipment on your favorite paranormal TV shows.
Exactly, especially the Haunted Files on Paraflix.
Mike's got that right.
All right, guys, so check them out, and if you use the code word Ghost Gone Wild,
not Girls Gone Wild,
Ghost Gone Wild, in your checkout, you'll get a discount on your purchase. Thank you, guys.
Peace. Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Mike from War Party Paranormal Radio Show and the Haunted Files on Paraflix. And Mike, we got something pretty cool, right?
Heck yeah. So, I want to talk about Haunted Happy Hour, spirit-infused coffee. They have many different flavors, all kinds of different stuff. They're great people. They have a podcast with great content, and they got an amazing product here. So, this one actually is Sweet Rum Bliss. And what's amazing about this, you order this product and you also get 1 month free subscription to Paraflix. So you can watch us. Yeah, and you might be feeling dead inside, but get caffeinated with Haunted Happy Hour. All right.
Are you ready to explore the unknown?
Eventually.
Brace yourself for a journey into the supernatural. Paraflix Paranormal Plus, your gateway to the paranormal, all-in-one streaming service. Dare to explore, dare to believe, dare to stream alone.
It does not want us here.
Sign up now and embark on a supernatural adventure like never before. Paraflix Paranormal Plus, the universal home of paranormal.
All right, guys, and talking about Paraflix real quick, we have we just came out with, I'm super excited, we just came out with season 3 of the Haunted Files. Man, it's crazy, it's been 3 years already. So we just came out with episode 1 season 3 at White Hill Mansion in New Jersey, and it was a banger, man. I was super happy. We got a lot of good feedback. If you haven't checked it out, I'm going to run a real quick little trailer and then we'll get right back to the show.
Perched on the banks of the Delaware River in Fieldsboro, New Jersey, stands a relic of colonial America, White Hill Mansion. Once a steadily home that has withstood the test of time, it now harbors more than just memories of its storied past. Whispers in the night, phantom footsteps, and shadowy figures roaming the halls. These are just a few of the countless paranormal experiences reported at White Hill Mansion. Tonight, we dive into the heart of this haunted estate. Join the team and the special guest investigator, world-renowned psychic medium April Bousset, as they step inside White Hill Mansion, where the history and supernatural collide.
When I came out of one of the small bedrooms in the hallway, there was a 2 to 3 year old little boy standing in the hallway just staring right at me. We locked eyes, he looked at me and then just poof, disappeared. And that's when I was like, all right, I have to be a believer now. It's just staring me right in the face.
I feel extremely unwelcome.
That was a conversation.
I heard that. I'm being freaked out behind me. I'm like,
all right.
Very cool.
Hello!
And we're back.
I found out I can unmute the button.
Yeah, I heard you. I was wondering what that was.
I was like, what was that?
That was Mike. I made myself laugh on that one. But can I say April Bousset is one of the most
awesome,
confident, beautiful women of all time of everdom. What a great psychic! What a great medium! Her She does the tarot reading. She does the tarot scopes for anybody that hasn't picked up their Ghosted magazine yet.
Yep. There you go.
Please do. We actually got really lucky, got very fortunate, and they went ahead and popped us in there.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Awesome.
So we were very excited by that. So please pick up your Ghosted if you haven't yet. So Whitehill.
Yeah, man.
How did it get that name? I mean, was that like an Aryan thing, like a racist thing, or?
I don't know the answer to that question. I
wasn't sure. Maybe they just had lots of Wonder Bread there. I don't know. We don't know. We don't know, folks.
We don't know.
That's why you watch the show. And what's cool about your show is you really get like down into the nitty gritty. You get this great investigation. You know, our show, it's not really so much about the investigation as it is more about the introductory. It's about the journey. So it's really cool. So you can really go back and forth between these and just have a great night.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And it's for Mike to learn. And sometimes he's a slow learner.
I mean, so here's the question. What do you think about it so far? I mean, do you think we're all fucking nuts? Or oops, there's the
there you go. You're already printed.
It wasn't even me.
Where's the button?
I mean, do you think we're all nuts, or do you think that there's something to it? Do you think there's something going on?
That is an excellent question. So
it depends on the day.
Right. So, well, this is where I have found there's so many more questions than there are answers. Okay. Yep. First and foremost. And there's so many more questions that I guarantee you every person out there listening to this haven't even thought of asking yet. Okay. Mm-hmm. There's so much that we don't know that it is impossible. It is impossible. There's a huge line, right? There's a huge line between believing, and knowing. Okay? Nobody can know, but we can all believe, right? So I am at the point where I definitely believe, right? You're not going to know until you die. That's just how it is.
Right. Yep.
That and even then, who's to say, right? Because if you really look at it, so this is my own 2 cents, because I saw MaryLynn give me some side eye right there. So because, for example, do you believe in heaven?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Maybe. Yes. Kinda.
Okay. Well, I mean, what about you, Joe?
Damn, that's a hard question. I'm a recovering Catholic.
Okay.
So it's a hard
drink more.
question.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. I joined you guys.
Speaking of,
right? Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Wait. We're doing a down, up, down, and then shot.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Ready? Cheers.
Spirits with spirits.
Spirits with spirits.
Coca-Cola Classic.
All right, let me take it another way. Do you believe? Do you believe in reincarnation?
In reincarnation?
Reincarnation.
Yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Joe, you do. Mike.
I'm open to the idea, but
do you believe in past lives?
I was gonna say, Mike, you need to let me do a past life regression for you, and then you'll believe.
I mean, I've looked at some of these stories that of children that have recalled their death and things of that nature. So, yeah, I would say yes, but I think I don't know. I think it's
healthy skepticism.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to believe any of this stuff. I came into this as a super skeptic, and then I super turned like after.
You have every right to be, but skeptic isn't the right word. Okay,
skeptical. I'm gonna put,
because here's the thing: to be skeptical means that you're going to look at things, but you're your outcome is mostly going to be on the negative, right? You're skeptic, meaning you're going to look at it, but you don't really. You're going to question everything, but that's not really the case.
I think that you should, though. I mean, I think that absolutely you should be questioning everything, but it's a matter of being open to it.
Right? That doesn't mean you're skeptical. That just means that you're inquisitive.
Yeah.
Right. That's a big difference. Right. I'm not here to try to prove you wrong.
No.
I'm here to find out what I can for myself.
Exactly.
So I'm more inquisitive than I am skeptical.
I mean, I've looked into like near-death experiences and some of these, and I just, like you said, I'm at the point where I've been doing this for so long that now it's almost to the point where I feel like I just started over from the beginning. Like I don't even know anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's so many questions that like I feel like when I was earlier doing this, I kind of said, all right, well, this is what I believe in this and that. Now I'm just like, I don't even know, dude. I don't even know what's going on anymore at this point.
Well, I'm going to mind fluff you right now.
Let's do it.
So heaven, let's say heaven exists. Do you know what they call heaven? Do you know another name for heaven? They call it the Silver City, right?
I thought that was Las Vegas.
It is also Las Vegas.
So we all going to die and go to Vegas?
Right. That'd be great.
Sure.
How many people do you think have died between now and the 4000 BC? Trillions upon trillions. Do you realize how crowded that city would be? Okay. What about? Do I have to get a bus pass? Like, how do I get around? Right. Next thing is they're always like, oh yeah, you get to join your family. Look, I hate half of my family. What? That sounds closer to hell than it does heaven. Why do I want them around me all the time? It's awful, right? So that's heaven, right? So that's heaven. Hell, I don't know how that works. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but it could very well be a thing. How do you get there? How do people get stuck here, right? Because we're talking to, ghosts, spirits that could have been from the 1800s. You go to Germany, you could talk to ghosts from the 1300s, the 1200s. You can talk to ghosts from the BC, from the Roman era, right? How are they still here? How is that a thing? And if you believe in past lives, that makes it even more questionable, right? How is that a thing? How have they never moved on? Right? And if you believe in past lives, Joe, you believe in past lives. Joe, do you have a pet right now?
Yeah.
What's your pet's name?
Her name is Maggie May.
If Maggie May ran outside and got hit by a car, how would you feel?
Devastated, 100%.
Fucking,
yeah.
My bad. Orphan, devastated. Right?
7 minutes, we're good. I'm sweating too.
Devastated, right? So it is one of that animal is such a key emotion for you, right?
Right.
If you believe in past lives, go ahead and name me an animal from one of your past lives. You can't.
I don't know why, but Jerry just popped into my head immediately.
Maybe.
Okay, maybe.
But the reality is, you can't.
No.
You don't know why. This is something that is so intrinsic, such a part of you that it would emotionally rip you apart if your animal right now passed, right?
Well, not necessarily.
For some reason, you can't think of it in past lives.
If you go to sleep and you have a dream and you wake up and you can't remember that dream, even though however intense it was, imagine trying to remember your past life if you can't even remember a dream. So right. I mean, that's the way I look at some of the answer to some of these questions. The other thing is too, like if there was a million, like, if everybody turned into a ghost when they died and they never left, then you'd be able to drive down the street and see apparitions all over the place because there's more.
You'd be hitting them with your car left and right.
Yeah, they'd just be flying around. And
well, you may be anyway. You don't know that.
Well,
right.
Yeah,
right.
But what I think that
these Teslas would be going freaking nuts.
I think not all of them move on to a different space. I think some stay, some don't.
It's quite possible. And here's the other thing too. This is my own theory. This is my theory. I believe that when you die, this is just from what I've picked up so far. And the other reason why I bring this up is another great psychic, just like MaryLynn. Her name is Sarah Lemos. I don't know if you know who Sarah Lemos is.
No, Sarah.
She had mentioned to me I had asked her, and she just kind of had mentioned very casually. I was like, "How do you see? What is it that you see when you are communicating with somebody's loved ones?" She said, "Well, it's kind of like a window that's just a few feet away from you, and in that window are all of your loved, all of your ancestors are right there, accessible, and they can all talk to you, right?" And I thought to myself, well, how is that possible? If past lives are a thing, you can't be there. You can't be, right? If heaven is a thing, you can't be there. If hell is a thing, you can't be there. So how do I try to make that make sense for me, right? This is just for me, not for everybody. This is just for me, right? So I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong. I'm not saying you're right, you're wrong. Everybody's going to have their own system to help them kind of quantify in their weird head, right? So for me, it was, well, maybe when we pass, when we die, what if we shed that life like a snake sheds their skin? What if we slough it off so everything that was attached to that life can stay? Everybody that it's connected to can still have access to everything that you had when you were in that life. And then you get to go on and live another life. But just like how sometimes you just have those brief dreams, those brief memories, those glimpses into the life that once was. Maybe you're a prodigy on the piano for some reason and you don't know how. Maybe those are just little pieces of dead skin, little pieces of your past life. They're just stuck to you. They travel with you from body to body. I don't know. That's getting real with Mike. You're welcome.
Yeah, I love his analogy on that.
And his next sermon will be on the next episode of Paranormal. I honestly, I love it. It makes a lot of sense, honestly. I mean,
and I'm a total weirdo. I'm a comedian.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean you can't. That doesn't mean you can't self-analyze, right?
100%.
Well, and that's the thing. Even though he says he's a comedian, everybody's expecting him. Everything is funny, and it's not always. He does have those deep moments, even on the show. You'll see that where he's doing his antics and doing his thing, and then he has the moment of, I'd say, clarity.
Right.
And it's to the point of he's learning what's going on. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have zero answers. I have less answers now than when I started. Okay.
That's what I'm
You're only going to get more as we go.
It's like
That's
every
true.
time you do it, you get more questions than you do answers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's a sense of wonderment. The things that MaryLynn can pick. MaryLynn, when we do the shows, she picks up, and you don't even get to experience it truly in the show because, it has to be edited down. She picks up on things that she just has, there's no way she could have, no way, right? It's the same thing, the REM pods.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way they can pick up on things, but they do, right? EVPs, how? Right? You can't quantify that analytically. You can't. Estes method. I've done an Estes method. I've done several. And the things that have come out of my mouth, mind-boggling. Especially to the answers the questions that were asked that I didn't even know at the time. I mean, these are things that you cannot, there is no piece of paper with the answers on it. It's incredible.
Well, that's one of the things in one of the episodes. I actually do the Estes method too. And it was like some of the answers that, it was just going right along with it. And the problem I have with the Estes is I hear the spirit box, but I also hear them talking to me. So I have to learn is like, okay, which one is it? Was it the box or was it them? So that's hard to.
The big problem is she always gets, somehow every Estes method she does winds up back on Red Lobster. It's weird. I don't understand it. It makes me
guys,
hungry.
real quick, I want to let the listeners know that you guys are going to be moving on to your next live show on the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. We appreciate it.
Well, bye, Chanel.
If you guys have not checked out the KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network, they have lots of other shows about cryptid, spirituality, paranormal, UFOs, and UAPs, and all that fun stuff. So make sure you go check them out, KGRA Digital Broadcasting. If you want to stick around with us, you can hop on over to the War Party YouTube channel, and we'll be live there.
I love you, Chanel. Call me Chanel.
So yeah, I mean all these things, it's just mind blowing too. And then I look into,
and then, can you explain what the hell is a Bigfoot?
Is it interdimensional? Right? Is it an alien? Is it flesh and bone? What is it? Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Where's the bones?
That's what I always say. Where's the bones, dude?
Where's the bones? Show me the bones.
So we actually did a investigation trying to find Bigfoot, and that is one of the funniest episodes that you'll watch. It's one of the shorter ones, but it is hilarious.
And it is the only episode in which I almost died.
When he could have died, he didn't almost. He could have.
I could have died. I did not realize that I had a hatchet in my pocket.
So you got to kind of set the scene as to why. We went Bigfoot hunting, and he sets up this tent.
Yes.
And
so the tent is, well, it's not the roomiest. Okay, you just have to watch it. Okay, it's not the roomiest. And Ron, next I will.
He has to lay in the fetal position to sleep in it.
Did. So I hear the sound in the middle of the freaking night, and because we're sleeping overnight, and I freaked and I tried to run, but I forgot that I was in the tent, and I get stuck in the tent, and me and the tent are going down the hill, and the hatchet was in my pocket, and the hatchet came loose and started whirling around the tent, and I totally forgot that it was in there. And I cut my hand, so thank God that was the only thing that got cut, but it was touch and go there for your buddy Mike.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. Dangerous.
Yeah, we were about 2 hours deep into the woods, and it was to the point of, luckily we had Angus with us, so if we needed medical, he was there.
Yeah, he was ready to rock.
He was ready.
After I cut my hand, I asked him if I needed CPR, and he said no.
He lied to you.
But I was ready for CPR.
Yeah. Imagine it would have been if they would have cut to like a slow motion scene. And I love you. Sorry.
Joe also sings, by the way.
I do a little bit of everything.
So does Mike.
I'm okay at a lot of shit.
There you go.
But okay, so Mike, Joe, what is War Party?
No, that's after the investigation.
Yes. What is your professional take on the alien?
Oh man, so that's
it's actually how me and Mike became friends.
Yeah, we're aliens.
Wait, through a probing?
It was through probing.
Yeah, he did me, I did him. We cuddled after.
Dude, I get it. I keep Vaseline in my pocket just in case I get abducted. Okay.
He's hoping to get abducted.
I want to get abducted so bad.
So
he goes out into the woods and says, "Take me."
I actually have a sticker like that on my computer.
Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, all about them. I totally into it. I think that there has to be.
See, there's got to be, right? I mean,
there's got to be. I mean, dude, the world is like the universe. It's infinity, man. I mean, like it's crazy. It's like there's absolutely no way that we're the only planet that happened to accidentally form life. So that there's, and then there's all the whole dimensional thing too, right? There's a lot of theories out there that almost can prove that there is other.
Oh no, it's true. I mean, I think mathematically they've already pretty much said, "Yep, this shit's that the multi-dimension stuff is pretty legit." Obviously, we need to figure out how to get there, but
met a lot of dim people.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you talk about the dimensions, and so I can see portals. So as I'm going, and so if you look off in the
distance,
she's
never seen my portal.
I've never seen his portal, and I really don't want to.
It's just as hairy as Josh's.
It's black, like a nose eyes,
like lifeless eyes,
like you're looking down the road, and the heat rising off the road. You see the kind of that is what I see as a portal. So when you're going into a room and I can see that, I know that something's on the other side. So there's portals everywhere.
Oh no, that's something that's I do believe in, even though I can't see them, but I know I can, I guess, feel that energy around. We went to I'm sure you've heard of Casadega. Mike, if you don't know, Casadega is a spiritualist community. It's in Central Florida. There's Lily Dale up in New York, and Camp Chesterfield, I believe. I forgot where that is. There's several of them still around, but they go back from like the spiritualist movement. And we stayed at this bed and breakfast. We were doing filming for the news, for the Spanish news channel, and they were saying, "Oh, there's a portal in the backyard."
El Nuzo.
And they're like, go and take a walk and see if you feel it. And I just remember walking back there. And I was like, right here feels pretty freaking weird. And they're like, yeah, that's there. That's a portal. But, I hear portal and I don't understand still, like, because you talk to 10 different people and 10 different people are going to give you an explanation on a portal, It's with a lot of stuff in the paranormal community. So, just like I have my own definitions for certain stuff. Can tell us a little bit more about what you feel is like the portal. Is it interdimensional? Is it, what is it? What do we got going on?
Well, for me, it is interdimensional, and that's where I see the fairies, the gnomes, all the little creatures and stuff coming through, and even Bigfoot. That's kind of where I think that's why we don't have evidence of them, because they can go through those dimensional portals. Okay. And that's something that can't prove it, because I feel it, I see it, but how do you prove that?
So, do you think that there are in certain places that are considered special, more holy places? I mean, you look at a place like
Skinwalker Ranch, like Opportunity Village type.
No, not that type of special.
Well, but that depends on that's the person, it's like, what are your beliefs and what do you see? And, so it could be special to them, but it not mean anything to us, right. So it's kind of a give or take. How do you quantify that? Okay. I was going to say, because, especially you have the Native Americans and the lore and a lot of these places that they consider more, the thin places, sacred. Sacred places. And, where this comes out, it's like, boom, yeah, there's a portal right here, if you talk to somebody else. So, that's where they say even Sedona has all these portals everywhere, and they even have signs, the portal are here. Mm-hmm. Whenever I went there, I didn't feel them there, but walked 300, 400 yards away, and the portal was there. Right. So do they move?
That's true, right? Shift.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are they moving around? Is somebody controlling that to where they can open it over here, open it over here?
You see, that was another thing I was going to bring up. It's like, is there somebody that's controlling it? Obviously, well, I'm saying hypothetically, right? Is there somebody that's controlling these things? You can't. No, Gandalf with the stick,
right?
But because at the same place where I walked into that portal, they're like, yeah, there's another one around the back of the building, but that one moves around. Exactly where you were saying that it's like, okay, cool. Like at that time, especially, I was just like, these people are freaking weird.
What the hell are they talking about? Use mirrors, and mirrors are good portals, because I actually had something come out of a mirror that rushed at me during an investigation, because I was able to see like a forest and all that. And then as I was describing it, come to find out the mother-in-law, back to the mother-in-law, had had the matching mirror in her house, but she lived in South Carolina. And I didn't know where she lived. And I was describing the forest that was right outside her window, the big bay windows, the forest and everything out there, describing that. And all of a sudden this thing comes rushing through. and it tried to push me down the stairs. It rushed so fast. But it was to the point where they finally covered up the mirror and put it away. She kept hers, but she's continued to have things and that's scratching them and just all these different noises. When they cover it, they don't have it. But when they take the cover off, the noises and everything comes back.
I've been having experiences, obviously, like since I was very young, and I'm convinced that I've had some sort of experience with a mirror, and that's because even to this day, I can't go to sleep. We have 3 mirrors in our bedroom. I can't sleep looking at it, and I have to have it turned in a way that it's not facing me directly.
It's because it's a mirror to the soul.
Do you have to cover your head? I
cover my head under my sheets, but that's only because a lot of times too,
it does reflect. That's the only reason why I asked.
Shiny.
But I mean, like when I go to bed, that's when I start hearing a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of the time, that you're shutting down, you're at rest, and I do meditation, I do, so I understand that point too. So it's kind of like when I'm slipping into that, halfway between sleep stuff is when I start hearing, "Hey Joe, hey, what's up?"
Well, and that's when you're most vulnerable and your protections are down. Mm-hmm. So do you do anything to protect yourself at night?
You like condoms?
It's a whole body condom, yeah.
Imagine I just.
Well, that's kind of the way I imagine. That's kind of how I imagine it. It's like a zipper. I do a white light of protection around me, and that's my body condom. Just zip it up.
So, like a couple of years now, we had Patty Negree on the show, and we were talking about all this stuff too, and she gave us like a sigil that she made that was for protection, especially for that. Mike's wife actually made a bunch of them as like key ring, for your keys and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of like it looked like more of like a Celtic rune almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's but I have that under my bed.
I lost mine.
I put it under my mattress. She told me to she said put it under your mattress when you sleep. It's going to help you sleep easier, especially when I guess everything was first coming on for me. Yeah. So I would imagine and I would tell Mike all the time, I'm like, dude, like I lay my head down and it's just like, hey Joe, hey, it's like a fucking party in my my bedroom that I'm not throwing.
Lie. He's never said that to me once.
Yeah.
Well, and that's to where for me it's like I wake up and they're like right there. Right. And it's like I had to set those boundaries, and I see you, kitty. So you set those boundaries, and they're not allowed to come in. So with your sigil, do you clean it, or do you clear it and cleanse it, or do you just leave it under your bed?
It's just there. No. If I use Zest, sell some blue.
Yeah, because what that does is it's collecting the energy, so that way it's not attaching or
then you have to drain it, right?
So I should pull it, cleanse. Should I burn?
You don't need head and shoulder.
A piece of paper. Should I burn the paper? Should I do like a little ceremony? What do you recommend on that? Just throw it away, get it out.
You can burn the paper, but I would also on the sigil put it in the window and let the moon charge it on the full moon. That's going to give it more energy as well.
Okay. All right.
But once a month, do that. And that way you're going to feel a lot lighter. As soon as you clear it, you're going to feel the difference when you put it back in there. And you're going to sleep better the first couple
Mike's
nights.
Turn.
It's like a man period.
Pretty much.
We're gonna get on the same like cycle times and everything. It's like, oh my God, me too.
Hey, I say men have menopause all the time, so they have it once a month. They get grumpy.
Can't spell menopause without men.
Exactly.
Have you guys tried the Delco experiment, the goggles that I came up with doing the sensory deprivation?
I saw those, so they're the red ones, right?
Yeah.
I think someone had them, but I didn't get a chance because something had happened and they were not able to use them. So I didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah, so it's like the Estes method, but basically, you're using the Gansfeld style red light sensory deprivation mixed in with you guys should try it, man. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
We need to get together and all of us collaborate.
Yeah, well, you know what? We'll have them at Booze on the Battleship too.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we can get some guests to do it, and you guys could check it out.
I think Mike has like a organized dogfighting ring going on in this house.
Yeah, Michael Vick over there.
Mike Vick, yeah.
A dog shelter at home.
Yeah, so those would be. So, is there something like inside the goggles?
Yeah, so basically what it is just the Gansfeld experiment. You take like ping pong balls and you cut them in half.
He's still fresh.
Put them over your eyes and you shine red light at them.
I've never tried it, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so what I did here was I just took it's an electroluminescent panel, so it's like backlighting but red, and then I filled in the lens inside and out with the red luminescent panel. So it mimics like the ping pong ball. So it's just sensory deprivation. All you can see is red, a solid red light like over your eyes.
Do you think you could put that in like a Daredevil mask?
Yeah, we could do
that. Would be cool.
I think that's what
the goggles. I feel like the dollar store version of Daredevil.
Yeah, we could definitely make something crazy.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, no. For the people that have tried it, like it's people that are sensitive, like or psychic mediums, have a totally different experience with it. Like they start seeing visuals and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty wild.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I know Larry Eisler has done it, and Jenny Davis.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
And we had Patty do it, and a bunch of people. I had that last episode. April Brissette did it at the White Hill, and that was bananas.
Oh, that would be cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch that. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really, really neat. So, kind of getting towards that time of the night. So let's do this. Let's let everybody know where everybody can find you guys if they want to follow you on social media, or they want to watch you guys, or find more of your content, watch your podcast, things like that.
I was gonna say, you guys still have your podcast as well, right?
Yes, we do.
That's still going on.
Yes,
okay.
We do. It's every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Okay, awesome.
And it's a para with an abnormal, but we're all on Facebook. We have that on YouTube. We also have our webpage, so you can get us at Sidekicks Paranormal. That's PSYD kicksparanormal.com, and then we also have parawiththenormal.com. Where else are we? TikTok. Mike has the TikTok for that.
I do. Yep. Yeah, you can find me on Slim Pickens at onlyfans.com. But yeah, Michael Galliano. I'm on Facebook, and I try to post all the time. And I'll pair with the normal. Very easy to find. And it's a great show. You guys love it.
Beacon
definitely gonna check that out.
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out to Beacon TV, Stream Beacon. So make sure you guys check them out as well. For me, if you want to find any of my personal content or anything like that, I have a website you can just go to. It's FLA, like Florida Paranormal Researcher.com, and that'll link out to all my social media and the hauntedfiles.com as well. And the one more.com is warpartyparanormal.com. And that links to shows little bios of all our investigators and some of the upcoming events that we have with the team. And Joe, how about yourself, buddy?
You can find me on Instagram at Joe Hunts Ghosts, or on Facebook at Joe Torino. And pretty much anything War Party Paranormal. I rarely post some stuff, but I'm in damn near everyone's freaking videos instead. So it kind of works out.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And hey, Joe, real quick, do you have any? Do you know of any of our? I can't ever remember.
Yes, absolutely. Events. So, if anybody in the South Florida area that wants to come out to one of our events, we have an event. Let's see.
While you're pulling that up, do you have any Paracons that y'all do in Florida?
No, not yet. We're possibly working on it. It's very hard to get people to come to Florida for some reason because. I guess
logistics.
The travel, the expense to everything, and there is really not any Paracons in Florida. We're working on that maybe. So,
so
oh my God, you're right. The same thing with Nevada. There's not a lot of Paracons out here either.
Yeah, I don't know why, but we're gonna like I said, we're gonna try to work on something.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to come to one of the War Party Paranormal public ghost hunting events, we have Yesteryear Village in West Palm Beach. That's February 15th.
Elon Musk, what are you doing over here?
Hey, I'm reading my calendar, okay?
I
don't fuck with that politics bullshit.
it was the thing we're doing.
And then Friday, March 14th at the Old Davie Schoolhouse in Davie, Florida. You can purchase your tickets at olddavieschool.org or for the yesteryear at the southfloridafair.com. Look for History and Haunts there. All the money from the tickets go right back to these historic locations for their preservation. War Party is heavy on preservation through the paranormal.
We're heavy.
So come on now, heavy for sure. Look at us. So come out, support these amazing places, learn some really awesome history, and come on, hang out with us. We're a lot funner than we look, I promise.
Funner than
Mike,
we look.
we need to plan an episode in Florida.
Yeah, that'd be
come on
great.
down.
Yeah, we got some.
We got a hell of a location for you.
Yeah, we got a couple
That'd be
good
awesome.
spots.
Okay, maybe we could do that this year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, hit us up.
Yeah, because we start filming for season 2 in July.
Okay,
right
I
on.
know Josh has been wanting to come down here too, so talk to him, and we'll figure something out. That's for sure.
I know he was in the chat somewhere around there. Where's he's gone now?
He
James
popped in and out.
James is in there too. I know he's with them somewhere. So,
hey guys, awesome, great show. I really appreciate you guys, and it was awesome to meet you both. And I'm super looking forward to meeting you guys in person at Booze on the Battleship. And it was a great show. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
All right, take care.
Good night, everybody.